The true difference between poverty and wealth is not in the bank balance, but in the way we think and act daily. Those who live on financial difficulties do not lose everything for lack of resources, but because it cultivates a mentality of scarcity, as if the world was always ready to take the little it has. Those who thrive grow faster because they see opportunities where others see obstacles, organizing their actions to build something lasting. This is not luck or miracle, but universal principles that work for anyone willing to apply them. Note around you. Why do some people spend their entire lives depending on the next salary, while others, even from scratch, earn increasingly high levels? Are the initial conditions so different? Most of the time, no. The difference is in the way of facing the challenges. Whoever remains in poverty seeks excuses. Who advances seeks solutions. One says, it's like that for everyone. The other asks, what can I do differently? Ancient wisdom already taught that true wealth begins not in the pocket, but in the ability to learn and adapt. Poverty and unhappiness, most of the time, are rooted habits. The custom of spending before having, complaining instead of acting, fearing changes. These standards, such as invisible weights, prevent progress. My grandfather, after the war, had only his hands and a notebook. Every night he scored meticulously how much he had won and how much he had spent. His motto was clear: if I don't control my money, he will control me. This simple discipline, maintained for years, has become a prosperous workshop and then in recognition in the city. Small gestures, when repeated on purpose, generate extraordinary results. Modern studies confirm this idea. Success is not a matter of luck, but a system of small choices. Whoever lives in poverty wants everything for now. Those who build wealth understand that growth is gradual, step by step. The first trap that keeps people in poverty is life in overdraft. When someone spends what they don't have yet, whether it's an installment cell phone, financed vacation, or drive-bought furniture, it is actually acquiring debts disguised as goods. Pleasure is immediate, but the price is paid for interest and future limitations. I met a neighbor who, in the 1990s, bought a television on time. After 3 years paying, he himself estimated, this device cost more than my annual salary. Jewish tradition has always warned, spend only what it already has. Money is a tool, but if used without discretion, it becomes a trap. The second mistake is to save money on what really matters. Those who live tight spend without thinking about superfluous expensive meals, unnecessary objects, distractions, but hesitates when it comes to investing in knowledge. This course is expensive, they say, as they pay dearly for the consequences of ignorance. My father used to repeat, the best application is in the head itself. Knowledge does not break. It is not lost and no one can get it out of you. I saw a young man from our community to abandon nights to buy a vocational course. Years later, he became a reference in his area and supports his family with peace of mind. The third obstacle is the victim's mindset. Those who are in trouble always blame the government, the boss, the crisis, or the fate. As you see yourself hostage to circumstances, you deliver your decision-making power to others. Our ancestors taught, if not me, then who? Those who assume responsibility ceases to be a play of random. I met people who, starting out of nowhere, raised prosperous businesses because, instead of complaining, they asked, what can I do today to change my situation? The fourth limiting habit is the fear of starting over. Many cling to jobs that consume them, the routines that unhappy them, only to avoid the discomfort of a new beginning. They fear zero, without realizing that it can be a door, not a wall. An acquaintance of mine lost everything 3 times. In each one, he sat with a blank sheet and traced a new plan. Today, he is a respected entrepreneur. He used to say, every time I reached zero, it was a chance to better rebuild. These standards live in debt, neglect learning, act as a victim, and fear of reunices are as anchors that prevent progress. They don't let money multiply, because behind them is waste, not construction. Now, let's look at the other side. Why do some multiply your wealth more easily? It is not a matter of initial amount, but how they think and act. Those who prosper first invest in knowledge. You know that money can get lost, but what you learn is forever. A young man who met reserved part of his salary not for clothing or leisure, but to books and mentors. Years later, he dominated his profession and had much higher than the initial income. Current research proves a single conversation with someone experienced can save years of errors. Secondly, those who get rich know how to wait, understands that immediate pleasure steals the future, prefer to postpone bonuses to gather larger results later. A friendly businessman said, I could have bought a car, but I preferred to invest in the business. 3 years later, there was 10 vehicles in the company's fleet. In Jewish wisdom, Patience has always been considered a form of wealth. Third, those who build fortune see themselves as owners of their destiny, not to blame the circumstances, but ask, what depends on me? Even in crises, seek opportunities. My grandfather said, you don't choose the wind direction, but you can adjust the candles. Who takes control of their actions becomes stronger than adversity. Lastly, those who thrive do not fear start from scratch. You see a chance to rethink and rebuild with more wisdom. A friend lost everything, was indebted, but said, it's time to learn something new. Today, your new business is twice as profitable than the previous one. In our tradition, Jabbat Rest Day teaches that sometimes stopping is necessary to move on more clearly. Finally, those who grow financially value their focus. It does not disperse it into distractions, but it directs it to what really matters. Studies call this deep work. I saw a person who set aside empty appointments to devote himself to a single project. Her yield increased beyond what she imagined. The difference, therefore, is not in luck, but in the mindset. Those who remain in poverty act by fear, excuses, in the pursuit of instant satisfaction. Those who thrive build their life with discipline, long-term vision, and the ability to transform obstacles into steps. Think about it. While one buys a split cell phone, the other buys a book. While one waits for circumstances change, the other creates the changes. While one clings to the past, the other is ready to start over. Who values the little one? A coin, 1 minute. Opportunity receives the big in return. This principle never fails. Pay attention to this principle, as it will bring the fruits of your work. But if you belittle the little one, the great will pass you without noticing. The greatest thinkers of today confirm this truth. Daniel Kahneman warns about the traps of impulsive decisions. When we choose the ease today, we lost tomorrow. Carol Dweck recalls that growth comes from the effort, not the innate talent. Nassim Taleb teaches that the blows of life strengthen us as long as we are willing to learn from them. These ideas sound modern, but the essence is the same as our grandparents already knew. I saw a simple man who, every day, kept a small amount. Your friends laughed. Do you even tell cents? Years later, he bought a house. The same friends, now surprised, asked, how did you do it? He just smiled and answered, I honored the little one, and the little one gave me the big one. On the other hand, I met young people who spend everything at parties and installments, feeling rich at the age of 20, but who, at 30, had nothing. His poverty did not start in his pocket, he started in his mind. The truth is clear. Wealth and poverty are not a matter of luck. There are two opposite ways of thought. One leads to the fall, the other to the rise. And every day you choose which story to write. Now, let's go to practice. What to do today to stop thinking like who loses and thinking like who builds first. Stop living in debt. If you have a habit of spending before you have, stop it. Buy only what you can pay in cash. It will be difficult at first, but this is where true freedom is born. Second, invest in knowledge, even if it is little. A book, a course, a conversation with who knows more than you. These investments will yield more than any object purchased by R. Passingman. Third, stop being a victim. Whenever you feel like complaining, ask, what can I do now? You will be surprised at how much you change when you stop delivering your power to others. Fourth, face zero as an opportunity. If you have lost your job, money, or a relationship, don't cling to what you've died. Take a sheet and write it down. What can I start today? Zero is not an end, it is a blank paper. Fifth, protect your attention. Eliminate a source of noise. Turn off unnecessary news. Abandon an empty habit. Stop losing nights with distractions. Your energy must work for you, not for the objectives of others. Remember, who thinks how per loses because your own mindset destroys what you have? Who thinks as rich multiplies because their mindset creates what does not yet exist? The difference is not in money, but the way you think every day. You are not weak, you just forgot the power of discipline and purpose. Recover it. The change begins when you decide to stop wasting and start sowing.